Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So it has officially been about 2 weeks since all of this started when Cody Tyler posted a video that validated my claims in 2020 against Colleen Ballinger that basically stated that I didn't lie and Colleen did in her apology video, and basically manipulated the full situation alongside Cody Tyler, who also is not innocent in all of this, but at least came forward and showed that, you know, the 17-year-old was not lying about anything. So I'm 20 now, but this was 2020. And nothing has happened. No private statement, no public statement, no anything. And actually, Colleen Ballinger is completely ignoring it and has went on tour, we're gonna talk about everything, right? And this video is me giving myself closure because I'm clearly not getting it from Colleen, Corey, anyone involved in this. So this video is for me to get closure, and I tweeted like a week ago, maybe more than a week ago, and said directly to Colleen and Corey. In the tweet, you know, everyone was sharing it and tagging them, and they are choosing not to do this. I gave them a way out for me personally. What we're gonna see today is the story is so much more broad than me, but I did give them a way out. I said, Colleen and Corey, if you want me to stop talking about this specific situation within myself, all you need to do is privately and publicly apologize to both me and my parents, and I promise I'll never speak about this situation anymore. Very clearly, that is not something that I'm going to be getting, so this video for me is in the wake of everyone else coming out against Colleen, Corey, her family. We're gonna see, like, there is just so much. And I'm getting a lot of things being like, Adam, you don't understand Colleen. Or to people calling Colleen out, you don't get her like I get her. You don't understand it. So basically, for my little closure, I'm going to paint the picture of actually how Colleen is with things that she has said or done. So Colleen Ballinger in 2020, alongside Cody Tyler, schemed to paint a picture that was lying and manipulative and leaving information out and all this about a 17-year-old to publicly take down a 17-year-old. And they were successful. They took me down, and congratulations to both of you. So I thought, to see the full picture of Colleen, all I need to do is show things that are currently online that she has done. Because whenever it came to me, you know, her and Cody had to lie about things to make me look bad. I don't have to lie about things to make Colleen look bad, because the information and stuff is already out there that she has been doing and using her platform for. And I think that she has been using her platform in a very dangerous way for over a decade now. And we should talk about it. So we're gonna get into today's video. Now, if people are wondering how Colleen Ballinger is probably dealing with this behind the scenes, so if you're aware, all of the members of the Weenies group chat that I have a part of, most of them, if not all of them, have in some way came out and shown their support towards the story that is currently happening and speaking up against Colleen. And it has been the most validating thing to see people that turned on me many years ago kind of see the light and see the truth about Colleen and stand up for me. And not even stand up for me, but stand up for themselves, because they were also minors that were exposed to this behavior from Colleen. So this is a message that was sent to me from one of the members in the group that Colleen sent to us in the Weenies a couple years ago. Because one of y'all is out for my blood, and every time I talk to y'all in here, someone leaks the story, like they working for TMZ. Literally without fail, every time I talk in here, I immediately get people DMing me that I pick favorites because I talk to you guys so much. So I'm just wondering if I did something to upset you guys. So this is something that Colleen would do if any messages from any of these group chats she was a part of would get out, because she would act inappropriately in them, and obviously we didn't see it then, but we see it now. She didn't want that information out there. If you don't have anything to hide, you don't need to be threatening children in group chats about things getting out there. So we can only imagine that with everything from the Weenies and everything from Colleen's private DMs, you know, not even me, but everyone coming out, that this is probably the same reaction that she is doing. I also want to talk about someone called Tia, who is one of Colleen's friends, who in a now deleted video from last week spoke about Colleen and how Colleen is handling all of this, and basically confirms that Colleen is looking at this like revenge. So Colleen wants to get revenge on anyone speaking out. So this has nothing to do with Colleen ever wanting to take accountability, or ever wanting to apologize, or ever wanting to admit her faults. Let's hear it from her best friend, Tia.
I just commend her for, she's been on social media for 16 years with Miranda Sings, her own personal life. I mean, everything that she does, her podcast, Instagram, TikTok, everything, YouTube. And I just commend her, because she was telling me, she's like, I get so much hate, so many people say so many things, and she just gave the best advice, and she just said, don't even look at it. Don't even acknowledge it. Don't even give it any kind of attention. And that's the best revenge. And I thought that was just so wise and so good to hear.
So about a week into all of this coming out, Colleen Ballinger decided to go on tour. She didn't reschedule the show, she didn't cancel the show, and that's not something that any of us were asking for. What we were asking for was a statement before she went on tour, so it didn't seem like she was giving us a middle finger and ignoring everything and then going on tour. And she didn't. She went on with the show, and the show is called Miranda Sings Cancelled. And I'm going to show you a clip, first of all, of when Miranda Sings turns to Colleen Ballinger on stage and just analyze her body language. And this is very clearly something that, you know, is getting to her. So I don't understand why she's not just coming forward and apologizing or owning up to anything. So this segment you're about to watch is supposed to be the most confident part of the show, when Colleen turns into herself after being Miranda. You know, she does a funny monologue, and she's just confident as herself. But when you watch this clip, especially someone who's been to these shows, she is nervous because she doesn't know how the crowd are going to react to Colleen. She is purposely being so kind to everyone in the audience, which she normally doesn't do at this specific section. Like, this is her dialogue, and she's taking selfies with fans and, you know, taking letters from fans, which, by the way, one of the fans she talks to's name was Rimmer, which kind of sounds like Grimmer when they say it in the mic, which is just ironic. But basically, she's going above and beyond at the start of this Colleen section to appear as nice as possible to her fans, because there were a lot of people live tweeting from the show that they no longer supported her because she chose to go ahead with the show rather than address anything. And she was obviously very nervous of what the audience response to her would be. But to go ahead with a show and then be nervous about how your crowd are going to respond to you when you could have just came out, you know, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and just sat down and be honest on camera, seems like something that you did to yourself.
Taking a few pictures, I guess. Okay. Thank you for coming to the... Okay, we can't just only take pictures. But here, do it really fast. I don't want to do this. Okay, this is a lot. Hi, everyone. You guys are very sweet. You should do this when I was Miranda, where I could bend down better than in this dress. Thanks, guys. Okay, thank you. I love you too. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to put this right here. I feel so bad. I want to take pictures of every single person. Okay, I do need water. Okay, guys. For you on social media. Okay, so actually, Corey and Andrew, can you please come out? There's only one way. Unfortunately, here, Dan, come over here, Dan. Just stand right here, please. Okay, there's only one thing that can save you now. Drop it, Corey. You have to do an apology video. It'll go viral, and then will become very, very famous, okay? This is your only chance at saving yourself and not getting canceled. And go.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's terrible. You can't actually apologize. Oh, that person you saw, that wasn't me. I don't even know who that is anymore. I didn't mean to offend anybody. And if you don't forgive me, that's okay. But please buy my merch, something like that. Try again.
I'm sorry you were all offended.
No, okay, that was better. Very good. I'm sorry you were offended. Very gaslighty of you. Okay, hold on though, there's something missing. There's something missing. You need to be crying. So come hither, closest to the light. Now try.
I'm sorry you were all so offended.
No, wait, stop. Can you see the tears from the back? Oh, he's crying. Okay. You can do it now. I made him. He's good. Okay,
I'm sorry you were all so offended by my bowel movements. You should have them too. But I know you don't. Buy my merch.
She was also selling merchandise at this show that had to do with being cancelled. Now, this was merchandise that was already in her show, but she does have other merchandise that she could have removed this one and not lost a profit. I just think it's incredibly weird to sell merchandise that says cancelled or do a show that revolves around being cancelled when you're in the midst of ignoring everything that's going on right now. I want to read out this tweet from someone called Alex who said, I guess I met her 5 years ago. Thanks, Facebook. Corey behind the camera told me to bend down because Colleen had to put her arms around my neck as I was too big. And before the show, Corey quote tweeted me being excited, mocking me, and then got the whole fandom to do the same. So here we see this person's meet and greet photos where Corey said this to them, and then this person ends up tweeting in response to Colleen selling cancelled merch and says the following. So this is, so many people are now affected by Colleen's silence, just in her fandom. This person says, I want to cry and I'm shaking. I've spent years with body issues because my idol hated my body, etc. I've struggled badly mentally the last few days, and this is what she's doing, fucking profiting off of it. She never cared, and I've spent 8 years of supporting her. Now again, we're seeing two flip sides of Colleen and Corey talking about fans, bodies in one extreme, and then the way that Colleen would speak to me on Snapchat about my body and, praising skinny. You should not be commenting on your fans' bodies. Also, real quick, a part of the show, before she comes on stage, has a bunch of hate comments on the screen, which is a thing that she does at most of her shows, but just having it during this time seems incredibly tone-deaf and like you're giving the middle finger to everyone right now, just something to note. So as I touched on in a previous video, an ex-assistant of Colleen and Corey named Johnny spoke forward, who was a fan of both of them. I knew him from the fandom days. From the age of 15, he was, being befriended by Colleen, and then at the age of 22, Colleen hired him to be a part of the Miranda Sings tour. He has since spoken out about how abusive that process was, how Corey would scream at him, Corey would talk down to him, Corey would, use his followers, to berate him, Corey made his life hell, that Colleen never did anything about it, even though Johnny would, spend many nights crying to Colleen about it, that Colleen would say, oh, I agree with what you're saying, but, Corey, just making excuses. So another example of them treating a fan awfully, and Johnny posted a video about this. You can see his Twitter. It's really intense. Now, something I've hinted at in the past is that me and Colleen used to make fun of Trisha Paytas. Now, again, this is something that I genuinely do apologize to Trisha Paytas for. I was 15 whenever it was happening, and Colleen was in her 30s, but still, I don't think that's an excuse, and I apologize for ever contributing to that conversation privately with Colleen. So to Trisha Paytas, I genuinely do apologize for that. But I've hinted here and there that me and Colleen would make fun of Trisha, and I never said fully what it was until Johnny came forward with the exact same story. So Johnny tweeted and said, Colleen and her friends subscribed to Trisha's OnlyFans. They would have viewing parties just to body shame and make fun of her. They would invite her to their home and smile in her face while doing this behind her back. Now, there's also a clip of Colleen comparing Trisha to a whale that's out there, so Colleen was publicly making jokes about Trisha.
Just a glorious day in Maui. We just saw a whale. We saw a whale. We saw a whale tail, and I'm not talking some girl whose thong is hanging out of her pants. I'm talking an actual whale tail. Yeah, we did see him swear. And I'm not talking about Trisha Paytas. I'm talking about a whale.
So then I tweeted, now knowing that this story could be backed up by someone else that this happened to, which is so weird that she was doing this to multiple people, fans, And I said, Trisha, Colleen and I used to send your OnlyFans pictures and videos back and forth and make fun of how you looked. I was 15 and Colleen was in her 30s. This is a harsh tweet, and Trisha, I apologize. Again, I was 15 and she was 30 and I was following her lead, but again, I apologize. It was not nice. Someone goes, Trisha wasn't on OnlyFans 5 years ago. And I go, wrong. Specifically remember a picture of Trisha in her bathroom with her completely topless and we made fun of her nipples. So I think what was happening was Trisha had posted on Patreon or Twitter or something, one of these pictures, and it was one that me and Colleen would reference. Now again, in talking to Johnny, this is also a picture that will be referenced to him as well, unfortunately. So Johnny says, and there it is. I was a young adult at the time when she was sending me them, but you were a child. And I said, Trisha's story confirmed by a second person. Now, I think it's important when talking about Trisha to make the leap to Shane. Now, this is what Shane Dawson had to say about Colleen Ballinger. And for Shane Dawson to say this about someone, play the clip.
Miranda, or Colleen, or Miranda.
Right, depending on where she's at.
Colleen is the best because she needs 10 of these fans. She is the most hateful, shadiest. I love her. Like, whenever we hang out, literally the first words out of her mouth are, okay, like, what do you got? Who do you hate? Who's next? Like, just going in on everybody. I love it.
Oh,
you gotta
fun.
get her on here.
Oh, I would love to.
It's rough.
Please throw in a good word for us.
That's the thing is a lot of, well, I guess comedians in general, like a lot of the comedy comes from hate, self-hatred. And when you hate yourself, you hate everybody around you. So I've got a little better at it, but no, hanging out with her, man.
She loves to throw some zingers,
Loves it. Loves it. And she's so good at being nice to, like, she'll do collabs with every YouTuber, and they think, like, I'm like Colleen's best friend, and then we get together, and I do the same thing, but then we'll get together, and oh, man. They only knew.
Now, another person called Oliver spoke out against Colleen Ballinger's brother, Trent. Now, I'm seeing a lot of people say online and excusing Trent's behavior by saying that he has special needs, or that, you know, throwing these very, like, ableist terms around to describe someone who's deaf. So I want to make that very clear at the start of this. And this person, Oliver, said, a thread of things that Trent Ballinger, a man in his 30s, sent to me when I was 13 to 14. Now, this was a very commonly known thing in the fandom. Trent, Colleen's brother, used to love the fact that people would want to speak to him to kind of get through to Colleen, and would very clearly abuse this. So before we jump right back into Colleen, I want to paint a picture of what the family have done at the expense of Colleen being famous online. So the grey is Trent, and then the blue is Oliver. Okay, just don't share our conversations with anyone. Anything we talk about stays between you and I. Oh, okay, don't worry, thanks. Saying this to a 13, 14-year-old is very alarming. I'm told not to talk to people under 18. I do so to spread positivity. So, yeah. Oh, I don't see anything wrong with talking to people that are under 18. Who said that? You really do spread positivity. And then Trent says, my family. You don't look bi, so I'm like in head tilts. Oh, I don't? But yeah, I think I am. Why do you think you are? I don't know. I guess I just don't think I'm straight. Just be honest with yourself. You're young, so you don't have to label yourself yes. You're very right. I'm curious why you think that. I don't know. I guess I just think, why would I think I'm straight? At this point, I just don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm questioning. Trent goes, how old are you? Oliver goes, 13. Trent goes, yeah, I wouldn't question it yet, Peapod. So Peapod was his little nickname that he gave this 13-year-old. Good night. Don't let the sexuality bite. Saying this to a 13-year-old. It's okay, you're gonna grow up doing what you love and probably fade away from me. P.S. You should come to the Orange Show. So I think it was the Orange County Miranda Sings show. Oh my god, I wish I could. My mom said I can't go to California. Why not? Because she really doesn't like California. What's wrong with California? My mom really hates traffic. Yeah, but when I'm an adult, I'll fly out to California. How long do you have to go until this person is an adult? The earliest I could go would be summer 2023. I'll be 18, but it might have to be 2024. And Trent sends the questioning emoji. So many times that this person is reiterating their age to the 30-year-old Trent. How old will you be? In November? Yeah, almost 14. 4 more years to go, Trent says. Trent goes on to send pictures of this 13-year-old to the 13-year-old and goes, I picture you wearing these when you meet Tim. He ends up sending more photos of the 13-year-old to the 13-year-old with Peapod written over them, which was his nickname for the 13-year-old. And then writes, that's precious, about the photo. Trent goes on to send a video of the 13-year-old and goes, you kind of look like my last girlfriend in that gif. So Oliver goes on to talk about on Twitter that Trent wouldn't want Oliver to go to sleep. So anytime Oliver would go to sleep, Trent would want to talk, you know, for much later, when this 13-year-old, like, had to be ready for school in the morning. Good night. Are you sure? Sorry, Nye, I'm going back to sleep. Oh, really? Yes. No. It's getting late and my sleep medicine is about to make me sleep. LOL, good night, Trent. Stop taking the meds then. When blank said, and thank God it did with Peapod, make it sound like you two had sex. Oh no, it's just one of Tim's songs. But she says she couldn't do it without you and thanked you. Sounds like you two are a couple. Talking to a 13-year-old like this? But yeah, me and blank are super good friends. I know. Just saying it sounded like you and her were gay together. Oh no, it was just the lyrics. Uh-oh. Are you enjoying it? Trent goes on to say, what are you like in person? I don't know, kind of similar to how I'm on the internet, with my internet friends. But if it's just with people at a dance, I'm super awkward and anxious. And then Trent goes, with me? How do you think you would be around me? If you're doing South California, come hang out with me. I probably will in a couple of years, but I'm going with my dad. How old will you be? I'll be at least 14, most likely 15 to 17. Oh, yeah. I want to move to Southern California when I'm an adult. And Trent goes LA or San Francisco or whatever. Somewhere in Southern California. Hey, you are so cute. Hi pretty Peapod. Hi Trent. I still don't see when you wear makeup. I think I'm broken because I prefer girls not to have a whole lot of makeup on. Can I hear your normal voice one day? Yes, of course. No, I want one from you. Well, yes, I'm not sure, but you can make one for me. I just want a special video of you. You can text me anytime. I will listen to you without judgment. Yeah, DM. No, text. And sends the number if you need someone to talk to. And if Twitter's not there, I know school can be tough. Hey, I really appreciate it, but I don't feel like it's appropriate for me to text you, and I don't think my mom would want me either. I'm sorry. The 13-year-old setting the boundaries here, by the way. It was at least 6 years ago, so you were 10. So the amount of times that Trent is referencing this person's age. I was probably 6 or 7. Cool, I thought you were 16. I have a problem. Trent sends this video, and here's your crush. This person says, nope, LOL. So you're going on a secret date with your crush. Oliver goes on to say Trent was referring to video chatting whenever Trent is sending about going on a call and their parents will get Oliver in trouble for doing this. Oliver posted this one that is the caption gross, and it's Trent sending, I don't even know the context of this one, nor do I really want to know the context of this one. I think I need to shave. Glad I'm a girl so I don't have to deal with that. That's a lie. Girls shave legs. Some even shave their hoo-ha. Just gotta find a guy that's okay with sex with you. My boss is preg and she's gay, so anything is possible. Now I wanted to include all that to kind of show how the family use the dynamic that Colleen has with her fans, which is disturbing. And then we have this one from Johnny. Now I'm gonna read it out and then give the context. Okay, @Colleen, you wanna play? Let's play. Look what I find. It's you bashing one of your biggest fans at the time that this was sent. We used to make fun of them for editing fake freckles on their face, remember? Then you made fun of them for being trans, gender fluid. So the text that I'm about to read out from Colleen and Johnny are making fun of one of Colleen's fans, Ella, who has also released a statement. Now, from someone who is in the fandom, you will never meet someone that was more loyal to Colleen than Ella. And Ella spent a lot of years that they were friends with Colleen very ill, very sick, and Colleen publicly supported them, publicly loved them, but Johnny has shown these text messages where Colleen is making fun of Ella, and Ella has spoken up about it now. Colleen writes, freckles are gone, and she references herself as she again. Johnny says, I can't keep up, she's a new person every other week, and Johnny has issued an apology to Ella, and Ella has accepted it, and Colleen is silent. And then Colleen says, oh my god, breaking news, and it's a photo of Ella, basically making fun of Ella further. Again, I cannot stress how loyal Ella is to Colleen, sorry. Ella writes, I'm heartbroken, hurt, and angry. Here are some of my thoughts, so let's read this. My name is Ella. I've been a fan of Colleen's for years, but in the last 6 years, I have been acutely unwell and in and out of the hospital. She befriended me in 2017 and flew me to Anaheim. I was under the impression that she liked me and called me her friend. To know that I was going through hell and fighting to survive and she was shit-talking me behind my back is really beyond painful. Why pretend to like me and string me along? I was there for her and always put her first. I sent her fan mail, and when shit happened in her fandom, I always backed her up. I am honest and don't shit-talk people behind their back. To know that she was mocking my makeup, my gender identity, and my health, her behavior is not only mean, but also widely inappropriate. Until just recently, I'd never spoken ill of her or anything, that was presented of her, the evidence that painted her in a bad light. All in all, I am devastated to say the least. And to anyone who's a fan of hers, I urge you to reevaluate your relationship with her because she is not nice at all. There is no compassion and everything is for show. I told my parents, and Colleen is not the champion for mental health or a compassionate care. This would have been the end of me a few years ago, but I'm a good person, I know this, and I will not care about what this evil 30-year-old feels or says about me. I am kind, I am brave, and I have more to my life than sinking to her level. Anyways, love y'all. And it's devastating that Ella has to do that, because again, I cannot stress enough how much Ella went through while her friendship with Colleen was happening, and how much publicly Colleen talked about how much she loved Ella. So that was shocking to see. Moving on, in reconnecting with the Weenies, I have remembered, with all of us sharing stories, that we had an inside joke with Colleen, which had to do with tampons. Now, all of us in this group chat ranged from the age of 13 to around 17, and there may have been a couple that were older than that, but the main demographic of this group chat were like 14, 15, 16-year-olds, and there were a couple that were younger and a couple that were older, right? And one day, Colleen came in and was talking about periods, like I showed in my previous video, that full message of her being like, I shit through myself, I bled through myself, blah, 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 right? And someone was asking that they were trying to figure out how to use a tampon or something, and Colleen sent the following video to basically show them how to do that.
I swear I'm not high.
Then, this became an inside joke within our fandom, so much so that Colleen, at a meet and greet, ended up getting everyone to bring tampons, and here's the photo proof, where in a meet and greet photo, Colleen, Corey, and all of the fans are putting tampons in their mouth, which is just really fucking weird. And I remember specifically at this time, Colleen asked me to go out and buy a tampon so that I could be included in the photo, because I obviously wasn't at the meet and greet and I didn't want to do that. So I remember getting a Q-tip, toilet roll, and biting into it, and that was my one, and that photo as well, we're all showing in the fandom. However, I don't want to show it here because a couple people have said that they don't want that to be out there, but the meet and greet was public knowledge because Colleen also put the meet and greet photo in a YouTube thumbnail. For the next part of the video, I want to talk about something that has to personally do with myself. Now, I've kind of talked here and there about things that Colleen did with me that were inappropriate conversations, whether it had to do with her telling me her ex-husband's penis size, if it had to do with sex with her new boyfriend at the time, Eric, all these different things she would confide in me in, and also some other members of Weenies who have spoken up about this whenever I was around the age of 14. Now, I didn't see an issue at this at the time. I thought that she was my cool friend who would talk to me about sex. She used to talk to me about handcuffs and role play, and this was very much so, I thought that, wow, she's really cool, you know what I mean? She's, you know, basically opening up these conversations to me, right? And I want to talk about that before I show these next screenshots that were sent to me by the Weenies. So, Colleen would talk to me in private, and also in the group chat would talk very, you know, sexually with me, which is validated by one of the members, Liv, who comes forward and says the following. Something I'm starting to notice. We would all be talking in the chat, but she would always find a way to make a sexual innuendo towards only you, so about me. Like, why is she always stating you by name and then saying it? Because again, there's a lot of screenshots that are going to come out in the next few weeks of Colleen initiating conversations to do with sex or sexual jokes to me, and I would engage in them back. Because again, I thought that she was the coolest 30-year-old in the entire world, that she would talk to me about sex, and that I learned a lot to do about sex, you know, through her videos and through the Miranda content. And then whenever she would speak to me about it privately, it just kind of made sense. Now, looking at this as a 20-year-old, I realized that at 14 years old, I was talking to a 30-year-old about her sex life, and she was overexposing me to a lot to do about sex. And whether that was in the case of directly talking about it, talking about things that she had done with Josh, talking about anything she had done on dates, to talking about Trisha's nudes with me. So, whenever I show you these next screenshots, I want you to keep in mind that I'm a 14-year-old who feels very comfortable talking to a 30-year-old about sex or anything, because she made me feel that I could talk to her about sex, because she would come to me and talk about that stuff. And here you're seeing a member of the group chat confirming that it was only really me that she would have these sexual innuendos with. I was 14 years old and she was in her 30s. This is not just me saying it anymore, it's the group chat are confirming this. So in this group chat of my friends who were 14 to 16, they were older than me, but they were, you know, similar age, I write, y'all, there's a dildo shop beside my hotel. Who wants to get their orders in? Making a joke to my friends who are also the same age as me. Now, to validate what Liv said about Colleen only coming in to be able to make, you know, sexual innuendos to me, or whether she was starting them or engaging with them. Here's another example of that. Colleen goes, Adam, LOL. I go, is that a yes? She goes, no, that's not my thing. And I, in quotations, write, I have, because you can see in this moment, I'm quoting conversations she's had with me privately about using all of these different things. So me saying I have, in quotation marks, is directly quoting conversations that me and her have had about these things privately. Not those. So there she basically is confirming that we did have conversations. It would mainly be about, you know, handcuffs that she would have as Miranda, and she would make jokes that she was going to use them with Josh, or role play that she was going to do. I knew a lot about this woman's sex life by the time I was 15, so. She goes, everyone thinks I love dildos because of that video. They aren't the only sex toys in the world, Henny. And I go, yeah, we know you use handcuffs because you told they're Mirandas. So there's me confirming as well in the group chat, not knowing that these would ever come out, because I never saw an issue with these in the moment, being 14. I mean, she was just the cool friend that would, you know, had no boundaries with me, I guess. Here I'm literally quoting that she would talk about using handcuffs, you know, sexually, but that she also used for Miranda. So literally all my messages here are like proving the point that I'm trying to make right now. And then she goes, I'm gonna head to bed, have fun on vacay, Adam, XOXOXO. Because she was very comfortable having these conversations with me, and I'm so glad that the other members of Weenies are now coming out and being like, yeah, she just kind of always spoke sexually to Adam, or had no problem, you know, with these conversations with Adam. And, you know, for me then being like, oh, we were also having them in private, and it was very uncomfortable and very weird. For them to confirm it makes me feel less crazy talking about this, so I appreciate especially Liv speaking up, and Becky and Ramsey and everyone in the group that have confirmed that she did have these conversations with me whenever I was around the age of 14 and she was in her 30s. So yes, between seeing Trisha's, you know, Patreon, OnlyFans, Twitter pics, talking about them, making fun of Trisha's nipples, to hearing about Colleen's own life, the conversation of sex came up often. Next, I want to progress to something that I haven't seen anyone really surface online, and it is a series that Colleen and Corey DeSoto had called Sam and Labia. Now, this was the content that I and so many children were consuming, and it was catered towards children. Now, I've went through them, and I've kind of just chosen clips here and there from them. These are still things that are up on her channel that she is profiting from. And it's also important to note that they would do these inappropriate arts and crafts and then at the end give away the things to fans that were children. Just very, very, very creepy. So the content I was consuming from Colleen was so sexual, which I think then made her and I feel comfortable having inappropriate conversations behind the scenes, and I assume other fans too. Let's look at this series of clips from this Sam and Labia series that are still online right now, and the majority of comments are from children. Let's take a look.
I like mine small. I like it when I can cup things.
And I like mine a little bigger. You know you have a nice one when you give it a pat and it bounces back. Can I smack yours?
Please. How does it feel?
It feels firm.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Go ahead and give it a nice little tug.
Look what came out.
It's a lot.
A lot came out. If the hole's big enough, you can fit your whole hand inside. Sometimes, if it's a really wide hole, you can put both hands in.
Yes.
Look what came outside of my hole. Whole head in the hole and lick it clean.
I've heard that before.
It's good to like slap it against your face. When you slap it, the goo comes out. My hole's so stringy, it looks like there's cobwebs in my hole.
That's how you know if it's old.
Ooh, spooky.
Looks really good. I feel really scary.
Sam was saying that the internet was making my head so big, I couldn't even fit through the back door anymore.
It wasn't enjoyable with your head so big, Labia.
Yeah. We used the back door because Sam's pussy tries to escape through the front.
Yes. It smells like last Thursday night.
It's like I was just there yesterday. I'm just gonna do a thin little slit. Like it's... Oh. Scissoring is a lovely craft. Last week we had a scissor party and everyone was scissoring all over. And it was a mess to clean up afterwards.
Have fun. Look at this nice long slit for the mouth. Oh. Very scary, so spooky, Labia.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry.
Okay, it was fun.
Oh, it's so lifelike. Look at that nose. Oh my, oh my, oh my.
Was that spooky, Labia?
Yes, you're just about to lick the tip.
I'm choking. I'm choking on all these hairs.
I get so scared. Maybe you gotta put it. Oh! It's so thick, it's coming out of the sides. Can I smack my buns against yours?
Anytime.
What should we stuff in our buns?
Well, we have lots of options. A very common option would be some jelly. Just a little tiny butter on your biscuit can make it slick enough to slide right down your throat.
Oh yeah, just rub your stick on the edge of my bun.
I'm being too rough, I'm tearing your biscuit.
Oh, it's falling apart. This is the best part because then you can put the buns and biscuit in your mouth.
Shove some nuts inside of your buns. Everyone loves a little nutty surprise.
Ooh.
I heard my nut crack. I love a salty nut.
In the bun.
In the bun.
It's hard to get your lips right.
I've been told that before. You look beautiful, Labia.
It's chilly.
I can tell.
You see my Mona Lisa smile?
Get this little detail right here. That we can hide for each other later. No peeking. I don't like when you watch when I'm stuffing things in the holes.
I won't watch. Don't look at me when I'm stuffing my hole. And I love putting in some tuna. Everybody likes a fishy hole. Should I leave the juice? Or should it just be the meat in the hole?
That's up to whatever you prefer. Oh, maple syrup. That's fun. Oh, Labia, your crack is leaking.
Oh my god, I put too much in.
There's too much seeping out. You need to be careful with that.
I like waking up in the middle of the night and finding something special in my box. My box is a little smaller. Will it fit big notes?
Of course it will, as long as the slit's big enough.
I love the flesh tones you're using on your box.
Thank you. Flesh is my favorite color.
Sometimes I just like to keep my box bare.
You know how much you love balls on your box.
I love balls on my box and I love balls on my face.
You need to cut a nice little slit in your box so that your loved one has a place to put all their fun things.
I want mine stuffed full, so I'm gonna do a large slit.
And I like things a little bit more tight and put together, so I'm gonna make a really small slit. And move it in and out of your little slit, like so, to loosen it up.
I think I got my slit through. And now I can put my finger in.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Oh no, Labia. Looks like you didn't empty your box before we started working.
There's a whole bunch of red stuff coming out of my box. I think I'll just eat it out. Oh! The slit is too small to fit my tongue in. Stick your finger and wipe it out. Get it all out. I'm so sorry.
Use them for all kinds of things, don't we, Labia?
Yes, I really do like a nice wood. I want to wrap my piece of wood. I'm just gonna wrap it around the base.
Make sure you make it really tight.
I always like it tight. Like this. Those orange balls on my piece of wood look really nice. I just like to pat my balls down. Do you want to feel my fuzzy balls?
Very soft.
Your cock is looking really nice.
Do it.
Careful when you put the tip on. It's the most sensitive part. Do you think I should put some hair on my pussycat or should be a hairless one?
You know I prefer hairy.
What do you think of my pussy so far? Yes, give my pussy a nice pet. I think you're making my pussy purr.
Wow, your tail is so furry. Let me pet that for you.
It tickles from behind.
Give me a kiss.
Okay, but just one soft one.
Watch out, my tip is really pointy.
Watch out. My balls are really furry.
Well, we have a special little surprise for you today. We're going to give away my box. We won't be giving away labias because it's a little too special to me. I'd like to keep that for myself.
Now, there's this clip that's going viral online right now, and it has been the past couple of years, and it's Colleen Ballinger proudly telling the story of how she got her family dog put down. Now, the story itself is of a child doing something and a dog reacting, and then the dog's reaction, which was very valid, being the reason that the dog was put down. I'm not going to blame a child for that. The problem is, Colleen, at like 30 years old, retold the story with happy music over the top and in a proud way that this story happened. And a lot of people are like, oh well, this was a one-off isolated incident. So first of all, let me show the dog clip.
I have like temper tantrums still to this day, and I have like anger management problems. There are times where I'm just like, "Argh!" and I just feel like I need to hit something or like scream in a pillow. I used to like actually like rip things up or get angry. So I grabbed my dog for no reason, just grabbed the dog and pinched its skin and dug my nails into it. The dog yelps, turns around to protect itself, and bites me in the face. And I got stitches, I went to the hospital, and they were like, what happened? And I was like, the dog just bit me. And then they had to put the dog to sleep because the dog was dangerous to be around. So I murdered a dog.
It's really sad.
Okay, so now that we're back, people are saying that this is an isolated incident. I just want to make reference to the fact that Colleen Ballinger has made a history off of, like, using animals in a very inappropriate way online. Whether it's her cats, or her chickens that she now has, or anything. So I'm going to play a series of clips of her using animals, you know, pain, or using animals to have them react as a way of content. So let's play this.
I'm trying to do a tutorial. Stay there. I have to teach them how to do this. It's for YouTube. Wait. Ow! Stop it. I'm trying to do an experiment. Are you cutting in half yet? Stop biting me. Stop biting me. I have to cut you in half. It's for YouTube. Stop it. Ah! Don't bite anything.
Oh no.
Okay, open your eyes.
Miranda! It's really baggy. That's a big fupa you got there, girl.
Come on out.
Oh my god, it's furry!
Put it inside the bag. Now, just close the bag up. And now, the Hatchimal has to hatch, so you just wait. It's hatching. Sometimes I've seen on YouTube people are helping them hatch, so I'll do that. A little pull here. Oh, he's hatching. He's hatching. It's coming. Did you see that? The Hatchimal's hatching. We're gonna hatch more. Hello? Hatchimal. Can't. Kitty cats go poo-poo, and so does the dump truck. We all dump. So that...
Or Instagram photos where she's basically strangling cats so that they open their mouths. Or a clip of her and her friend discovering that a cat that was lost is... I'm just gonna play the clip.
It's the day of the show, y'all, and look what we just found.
We found Ada! Look,
really
there are
think
paws.
They're paws. That really might be Ada.
No. That actually, I think is Ada. I was
Is it
just kidding,
tail?
but there's definitely paws. That's a paw. Ew, and that's a separated leg. And a fly. Ada.
Ada.
Bitch is dead.
Ada's dead.
Ada's dead.
Oh. Wait, if you don't know what we're talking about, watch our vlog from day one. I'll put a link to it. The whole time we're searching for this cat named Ada. We just found her.
Search is over.
Search is over. She's dead.
And then the owner of that cat ends up speaking up and saying how sad it made them and how uncomfortable watching these YouTubers make fun of their cat that was killed. So there's also that. Or whether she's just throwing around her cat while filming Miranda videos for the sake of comedy, you know? Look at me throwing my cat around, not caring about it. Ha 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 ha, funny. And recently, Colleen Ballinger has gotten chickens. And now again, they are the target of Miranda content where she, you know, will use making them uncomfortable or use, you know, going against animals' boundaries for content, whether it's on TikToks or recently whenever she had not set up the equipment properly for her chickens and then takes to her vlog channel to cry about the fact that the chickens were killed during the night because she had not done proper research. And somehow she was the victim in all of this, of people saying, I'm so sorry that this happened to you, even though she didn't do the proper... So now we're seeing the full picture of her not really caring about animals.
Myself up, like, did I not do everything right? I want to rebuild a whole new coop. I can't let that happen again, obviously. I feel so sad thinking about, like, an animal coming in the middle of the night, scaring them and ripping them out of the cage and, like, eating them. Like, it's like, it literally, like, it sounds, I'm sure a lot of people are gonna think I sound stupid, like, story of my life, that I'm being over dramatic, like, it's just a chicken, like, whatever, but, like, they, like, really did become, like, my friends. I don't get it, it sounds stupid, like, I'm a middle-aged woman, like, friends with chickens.
I also want to loop back to her childhood cancer fundraisers that she does every single year for her birthday. Now, Colleen Ballinger has been asked for, I think, a year and a half now to provide the receipts of every single year, the exact amount of money that she has donated to the exact, you know, organizations. For some reason, she's refusing to do that. All anyone is asking is for her to come out and show the proof and the receipts. It's as easy as shutting that down. No one is accusing her of, you know, not donating the full amount of money, or no one is accusing her of whatever. But for some reason, she's been asked for a year and a half to do this and is refusing to do this. We're going to read through this thread that is on the Colleen Ballinger Snark Reddit, which will be linked down below. And furthermore, I also want to make reference to the fact that Colleen Ballinger does the childhood cancer, I mean, for a fact, in a shady way. A lot of YouTubers or streamers will use sites that the money goes directly to the organizations, whereas Colleen Ballinger chooses to allow the money to go into her bank account, sit for months, so she reaps the benefits of the money going in and out of her account for charity reasons, then donates it. So even if she provides the right amount of money that she has done over all of these years of, you know, childhood cancer fundraisers, she's still doing these fundraisers to benefit her in tax ways, in my opinion anyway, because the money goes into her bank account. But let's read through this thread before we move on to another topic. So on the Colleen Ballinger Snark, I will link it down below. There has been a lot of speculation and questions about how the fundraiser is set up. Firstly, we would like to clarify that despite claims that Colleen is stealing all of the donation money, we know that this is not the case. A large donation is made to the Children's Hospital of LA or Family Reach every year. This information can be found in their annual reports, and she's usually listed in the $100,000 plus bracket under Miranda Sings LLC. We acknowledge this, and any other claims stating that we believe the money being stolen is simply false. The main issue is that the exact amount of money is never disclosed. At the time of writing this, Colleen has never provided evidence that the entire amount raised is being donated. Both Children's Hospital of LA and Family Reach have options to donate directly, set up a fundraising page on their websites, or donate through Tiltify, which many YouTubers or streamers will use, because it's created and encouraged by charities that the money, all of it, goes directly. Each year, Colleen chooses to use Fundly, which is not an option publicly provided by the charities and organizations. Thus, the donated money goes directly into Colleen Ballinger's bank account. Colleen's 2022 Fundly page also doesn't explicitly state which organizations the money is being donated to. Furthermore, by using Fundly, a percentage of the money is taken by the payment partner that they have, Stripe. So we don't know if Colleen is replacing the lost money. According to the website, it says our payment partner takes 2.9% and 30 cents of each transaction. With all of these resources, why is Colleen unnecessarily acting as a middleman in the fundraiser? There are speculations that she's using the fundraiser to lower her taxes, taking the cost of prizes and postage out of the donation amount, or possibly not donating every penny raised as she claims. Again, these are allegations that have not been proven, and she's refusing to acknowledge them. The fundraisers of the previous years are also still open and available for people to donate to, so it raises the question, if someone mistakenly donates to the wrong year, where does that money go to? It goes into her bank account, but how's she tracking it? When approached about where the money is going and to see the receipts, Colleen avoided answering by saying that her haters should be raising money for kids with cancer and doing a good thing like she is. In her vlog titled, They Got Engaged at My Show, posted on January 16, Colleen admits that they were waiting to donate the money to let more money trickle in months following the fundraiser. This was also confirmed by someone who donated and decided to approach Family Reach to inquire about the exact amount donated. The response from Family Reach included the following, was basically that her team contacts us months later with the amount of donations. So the money is sitting in Colleen's account for months before it even gets donated. Long-term friend and employee Corey DeSoto made several comments on TikTok in response to someone questioning where the money is being donated to. Being so bold to say, wow, what an idiot, you do the work, you start calling the families that watch their child die, weaponizing that kids with cancer are dying. He went onto Twitter, posting screenshots of the exchange. Shortly after that, he replied to someone on Twitter with very malicious tones and then ended up leaving Twitter. There have been no public comments made from anyone in the family stating the truth of the fundraiser. Additionally, there are claims that the way Colleen selects the winners, scrolling through Twitter, so she gives away prizes to people that donate, are basically by her active fans and favorites, which violates the rules of how prizes and giveaways should be organized. A lot of fans are also claiming that they never received their prizes, whether it was virtual calls or actual prizes. In short, well-intended people are willingly giving their money to a stranger, blindly trusting that she will be honest and donate all the money she raises, without the proof that only Colleen can provide. These donors are left in the dark. This is unfair and unprofessional, as many other influencers post their receipts to the charities they have fundraisers for, so why can't Colleen? Colleen Ballinger is possibly taking advantage of young fans who have developed parasocial relationships with her, and Colleen needs to be transparent with her audience. We hope all of the money she has raised in the past and now is going to the organizations and families who are struggling watching their children die, as Corey DeSoto so eloquently put it. I also want to reference this clip of Colleen Ballinger and Todrick Hall making fun of a homeless person, which is going the rounds online right now.
So we're at the laundromat. This is our next location.
There's someone, we're disturbing their slumber. Guys, don't let this happen to you, okay? We're here. Okay. Someone. She woke up. She woke up. She's home.
It's a wrap. It's 1:45, I think. Todrick
9 minutes for it to transfer.
Thank you all so much for watching our video.
And if you think, oh, well, maybe it was Todrick encouraging it, here's Colleen Ballinger doing it herself as well for a completely unrelated person on the street. This next section I want to call Colleen Ballinger talking about how she doesn't care about hospitality or service workers. So this is what Colleen Ballinger has used a lot of her channel to do, which is talk about how she has basically just been an asshole to a lot of people. So here we have clips of her talking about how she basically just made workers' lives hell and is proudly retelling them. Let's play them.
So I got all dressed up and I was wearing this cute little dress. It was one of those dresses where like if you wore underwear you could see the panty lines and that is just horrifying. So I didn't wear underwear. Scandalous. Alright, so we went to dinner. Dinner was delicious, really fancy. And all of a sudden I was like, my stomach kind of hurts. So I get up thinking nothing's wrong, go to the bathroom. Lo and behold, Miss Flo came to visit my lady bits and I was not wearing underwear. Luckily I was wearing a black dress, so like you couldn't really see it, but it was totally on my dress. So I ran out to Josh and I was like, we have to go right now. My period just started and it's everywhere. And he was like,
Okay, we'll just sit down and we'll just finish and then we'll go.
So I go and I sit down and notice that I had been sitting on a beautiful white cushioned couch, which now had red stains all over it at this really, really nice, like 5-star restaurant. And I was like, nope, we have to go now. We have to go right now. I was super embarrassing and we never told them obviously what happened. We just put a napkin over it and left. But we could never step foot back in that restaurant again because they totally knew it was me. There you go, internet. I have not punched someone in the face, but I did do something really bad once. I know exactly who I want to, I saw him right now, I want to punch him in the face. I can't believe I did. Okay, so I do tours. By the way, Gabby's going on tour. You better see it. I'm probably on tour right now. I go on tour often. And on tour, I deal with a lot of assholes because I go to theaters and the people at the theaters are always like, who's this stupid YouTuber? They just see me with lipstick all over my face. I'm like, we don't want to be here. They're always rude. It's a very tech-heavy show. So we have a projector and all these videos. The whole show is timed with video projection and songs and lights and all this stuff. I have to have a projector. It's in my rider. You know it before I get there. You have to have a working projector and a screen. I get to this theater. They're like, we don't have a projector. Go buy one. Like, we're like, oh! Sitting in my dressing room, furious. And I have to take a shit.
I'm so fucking nervous about where this is going.
I'm so
sit down on the toilet and wand something and go, wow, this bathroom looks really weird. Like there's a lot of props in here. There's a lot of like random stuff. Like there's like a lot of stuff. So I'm looking around going like, this is crazy. I get up, I try to flush, and I had like a lot of poop because I was stressed. So I had like the stress poops, you know, like the crazy diarrhea poops. Filled up this toilet, like with so much poop. Tried to flush it and I was like, this isn't flushing. And then realized it was a prop toilet because I was at a theater. In a prop toilet and left it. Like, did not even try to clean it. I was like, that's what you get. You're rude to me, you make me buy my own projector, you can clean up my poop out of your prop toilet that you're gonna put on stage in some show tomorrow. Colleen? It was not a real toilet.
Good for you, Colleen. Did you tell anybody?
No, just now I'm telling you. I did not tell them.
In 2020, when Colleen Ballinger turned on me because of a tweet that I posted with approval about Meghan Trainor and Colleen Ballinger, Miranda Singh's character, with Miranda Singh coming out as a Meghan Trainor fan, Colleen Ballinger quickly turned to blame it on me, saying that she would never queerbait, and basically putting the blame on me for saying such an insensitive joke. Which is ironic, because not even Miranda Singh, but Colleen Ballinger has also been using queerbaiting as a joke on her social media platforms. Here's this clip.
YouTube Lover 3 said, my friend wants to know how to come out to their parents, please help. I think the best way to help someone through an issue like this is to share your own personal experience. So I'm gonna talk about my coming out story. When I think I was like 17, I sat down with my mom and actually she found out. She found out about it from someone else and then sat me down and asked me, like totally confronted me, and I was really embarrassed and shy, and I was like, yes, it's true, I am dating a boy and I'm straight.
Colleen Ballinger has a section of her YouTube channel called Colleen's Corner, which is a Q&A, and this clip is currently doing the rounds from it.
Give us a house tour. No, I can't. You want a tour of my house? There are leaks all over my house right now. Brand new house, by the way. And every time it rains, it leaks. Just like a teenage girl's vagina. I can't believe I'm gonna say this. It leaks so much like a little girl's creases when she watching me. Like a little girl's creases when she's watching those strange little boys on Musical.ly.
And there are just so many moments of her online talking about vagina and just, this is her humor, I guess. Okay. Now, for these Colleen Corner videos, a lot of the titles have been changed ever since the past couple weeks. Some of the titles used to be Receiving Dirty Panties, I Hate Sexual Activity, Sexual Experience with a Fan, My Favorite Sex Noise, Corey's Package, in brackets, X-rated, I Pee on Myself, Sleeping with My Boyfriend, or I Show You My Panties. We also have a clip here from one of her videos with her sister Rachel, where she is getting Rachel to basically like deep throat a microphone while her nephew Parker, who is a literal baby, is sitting watching all of it happen, and it's a joke that they're doing this in front of him. Normal. Amidst all of this backlash, Colleen Ballinger has been changing titles that were in vlogs of her niece Bailey, where the title is Girl on Girl Action or Sexy Pole Dancer, and the thumbnails are of her young niece. And she has since changed them to just Christmas Vlog and Xmas Vlog. We have this one with her nephew, where she says Healthy Balls with Chef Jacob, or these titles called How to Write a Child or flat out I'm a Okay. Here's just some other weird clips that are being sent to me right now that people wanted me to address as well. I mean, I don't really need to say much with them, just watch these.
There's boys in there. Are they gonna try to boys? Ew. Everyone is creeping over themselves right now.
Yes, I agree.
Over the Mona Lisa. So there she is. And I'm gonna leave before I get.
Okay, so we're in the terminal, we're about to board the plane, and we're sitting down, and I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. So these chairs are for people in wheelchairs. So if you're in a wheelchair, you can sit here. You can get out of your wheelchair and sit in these seats. But if you are not in a wheelchair like we are, we can't sit here. I'm confused.
What about Mulan? They always leave out the Asian.
Well, Mulan's just a transsexual. Transgender, that's right.
Kid, de accessories of futre. Kit para accesorios de fieltro. Not English. Languages. We bought this in America.
Now, Colleen and her sister had a history of making inappropriate content online, like this vlog where they try to film a naked child.
It's nifty. A little naked child just ran up to me, a little boy with a little pee-pee. He's laying on the sand right now. I'm gonna try to get him. I don't know if that's him, if you can see that. He wanted me to blow his bubbles. That sounds really dirty. Don't worry, they were actual bubbles. Yes. And she blew.
Or this one where they're being fatphobic.
And a man came and sat at the window, and I was on the aisle. And I was like, that's okay. Still the middle seat, like, open. Hopefully no one will come in. So then they're about to close the doors to the airplane, and who walks on? An extremely obese Asian woman with facial hair. And she walks on, and I'm like, please don't sit next to me, please don't sit next to me. And I turn around, and there are no open seats on the plane. So of course she comes and sits right next to me and on me. And her, like, fat rolls are, like, rolling over onto me. Like, so I'm, like, this in my chair, and I couldn't lean my chair back because we were taking off. So I had my blanket, like, in my face, and she was all over my, like, she was, like, her body was engulfing my body. And it was really awful. Did you spy?
Or this one where they're being racist.
I crossed the border, I went to Borders, and then I read a book on how to make my look. We got this. Del Taco. She works at the drive-thru at Del Taco. You know how the guys go loco. You can tell that she's new when she's working the drive-thru. She'll press the buttons and make it go muttons. She puts all the beef in the rice. And then we go and catch the mice. I set the mouse trap. I set the mouse trap. Then it goes snap. My new boy Jose, I saw him outside. He was gardening with his shirt on. I was like, oh man, so hot, you know. He hotwired a new car and took me on a date in it, and it was nice. He has got I'm dating. He's got kids, but like his ex-girlfriend takes them, you know. So I don't even have to see them.
Yeah, she like always takes care of him, so she like never has to take care of him, and he like doesn't even want to beat her dad anymore. No. Anyway, so it's like he never even really sees him. So it's like whatever. You should talk about Carlos.
Oh God, I don't even talk about Carlos.
Don't even get me started on Carlos. Okay?
Don't you know it's illegal for me to even talk about him?
It's not illegal. You just can't be within 50 feet of him.
I know. No, he can't be within 50 feet of me. Did I tell you I'm getting a Chihuahua?
What are you, another one? You already have like 4.
I know, but this one I like it a lot because it's gonna be like.
Where are you getting it from?
I'm getting it from this chica on the street. She breeds them.
Oh, I am so sick about the Chihuahuas.
Now, this final section, I want to talk about how Colleen gets away with things because of Miranda Sings. Now, this is going to be very lightly scratching the surface because this video is probably going to be long already. So here's Colleen in an interview basically talking about the fact that she says a lot of things as Miranda that she wants to say herself, and Johnny, her ex-assistant who we talked about at the start of the video, ended up coming forward saying that after this interview she was really upset because allegedly she had released her secret to the world, that she gets away with things by going under the Miranda, right?
I played a character for many years, and I got to piggyback on his ego and pretend it wasn't mine.
Yes.
Do you ever mean what she's saying?
Yes, all the time. There's a lot of times where in character I'll say something so cruel or, you know, something I'm thinking but I would never actually say as myself, and it's very liberating to be able to say things that I'm thinking.
Can I give you some advice?
Yes.
Never tell people when those moments are.
I won't, I promise.
Because I would sometimes agree with my old character, but I never wanted you to know when that was, because I'd like you to like me.
Right, exactly, yeah.
And here's Colleen talking about Miranda's relationship with her uncle, which we're going to touch upon after the clip.
Super sexual with these tweets. Well, and obviously I am trying to make it seem like I'm talking about something sexual, but my take on it is that Miranda is so oblivious that she doesn't realize that it's a that's what she said type of moment. She just doesn't see it that way. You know, she always talks about her uncle. I guess it's so weird saying she, it's me, but
yeah, no, well, okay.
She. Miranda always talks about her uncle, and it's always implied that their relationship is a little too close, and it's a little. But I think
this is not drawing from something, is it?
No. This is not drawing from anything.
Okay.
But I think of it as Miranda's just looking at it like it's her uncle. Like my little 4-year-old nephew looks at me like his auntie that he loves, and he would hug me, and we do have tickle fights, and we do love each other, and
he calls you Auntie Panties.
And he calls me Auntie Panties.
I also want to acknowledge that that same person who said that about Miranda Sings gets nominated for Kids' Choice Awards every single year with that character. Okay? But I mean, making fun of this type of relationship doesn't just stop at Miranda, because Colleen also does it as herself as well.
Oh, I was gonna you, but if you're into the covers, that is way too much work. Sweet dreams.
Or this clip with her ex-husband Josh, which is still online right now. Like, these clips are still online, where this position is called the uncle, and it's heavily implied that it's very inappropriate. It was like the yoga challenge or something like that. The position's called the uncle, and it's pretty self-explanatory what she's going for here, and especially now that we know what she thinks of the relationship as Miranda, just very bizarre behavior, and especially stuff that, like, directly violates YouTube's terms of service. And just this weird clip from her Netflix show as well that is just, like, this is a show that is literally on the children's tab. Like, Netflix promote this show as a children's show. Just look at this clip as well.
All right.
Oh, the cream shot out of my package. Sorry.
Well, that's all right. It landed on my buns. I like them extra sticky.
Well, if you squeeze harder, more will come out.
Oh, good idea. Hey, you guys. Guys.
And also, I don't even know how to explain. Let's talk about her live shows that she's currently still doing, and she's like going to be doing in the next few weeks as well, right? There's a bit in the show where she brings a child on, normally a young boy, visibly looks young and also just is young, and Miranda takes him on a date, and Miranda gets him to reach into her pants, and it's basically a joke that the child is being inappropriate with Miranda, and Colleen does not look out for the child's safety at all and makes the child a laughingstock in front of everyone. So this is a really infamous clip with a young boy called James.
To hide our snack from the bears, we have to hide it in our clothes. So for example, there we go. And so now, watch this. We're on the date, James. It's really romantic. Oh, we're getting close and personal. Oh, but I'm so hungry, James. Hold on, I got a snack.
Was this in your self-help book?
Was this in my self-help book?
Was it? Because I brought self-help with me and I was just wondering.
Well, shouldn't you know if you've read it? I'm just kidding, James. I'm just kidding. I love you. I'm just kidding. Do you want a cheese ball?
I'd love them. I can't believe I'm reaching in there right now.
Now, this is also a bit that happens every single show, and for example, here it is happening with another young child.
Want a cheese ball? Come on, Brady. Oh, he went for it! Brady. And he ate it!
Now, Colleen knows that this bit is inappropriate and makes children uncomfortable, which is why she does it, because here's a clip of her in her vlog talking about when she tried to do it with a really young boy and he felt uncomfortable. So the young child had to set a boundary with her, and she retells the story while laughing and saying how funny it is.
Tonight at the show, something really funny happened. There is a part in the show where I bring up different boys that like Miranda flirts with basically on stage, and there's this part where like I try to get a guy to put like his hand down my pants. I know it sounds really bad, but it's totally harmless. And today I chose a boy who was pretty young, and he did something I've never experienced before on stage, and it made me laugh so hard on stage. It was probably the biggest break I've had on stage like ever, because it just caught me so off guard because it's never happened before. But usually the people I pull on stage are really enthusiastic and excited to be a part of the show, and he just was like not having it. I tried to get him to get like a cheese ball like from my pants, and he was like, no, not gonna happen. And he was really serious, and I was like, okay, whatever, like that's not a big deal. So then I tried to get him to kiss me on my cheek, and he was like, no. And he was like really serious and like would not do it. So then I said, well, this has never happened to me before. And he goes, well, now it has. So then I just like was like, oh my God, like he just shocked me, and the audience is dying of laughter. I'm dying of laughter, and he is just serious. Like, here's a picture of me laughing, and he is totally serious, like not having it. And so then he goes, I came here to be your friend, not your bae. It was so fun. Like, I always love whenever I pull someone on stage who surprises me. So thank you for coming to the shows.
And to close off this video, what I want to talk about is another person who spoke up against Colleen Ballinger, and her name is Becky. I'm gonna let Becky tell the story for herself, but again, just goes to show that Colleen Ballinger does not care about the safety of any children whenever it comes to her show, and she just uses that, and it's disturbing.
Colleen traumatized.
Hi, okay, my name is Becky. I'm the girl in this video, and this video has over 1 million views, and that is a lot of people to be seeing this story without hearing it from me, so I want to explain this. So I was a fan of Colleen and all the Ballinger family for a very, very long time, and I think in this video I was about 16. If you've never been to a Miranda show, Colleen frequently has segments where she calls people up on stage. One of those segments was the porn bit, which I'm not really going to be explaining in this video, but that's why I was kind of trying to dress skimpy so that I would be called up on stage and basically get degraded by Miranda. But I did not get called up for that. I got called up for the yoga challenge. Now, as soon as I stood up from the audience, I saw Colleen's eyes widen because she realized I was not wearing pants. But for some reason, that didn't stop her from continuing. In fact, no adult at any point stepped in this situation. So we get to the point in the yoga challenge where I am laying down and Colleen is spreading my legs basically as far as she can. She spreads them so far that you can see the spandex I was wearing under my romper, which thank God I was wearing. Now, the original video posted by Xandar, I'm sorry if I pronounced her name wrong, is only a screenshot, but there is a whole video of this. But that screenshot is the most important because that is the moment I will never forget, where I was laying under Colleen and she was smirking down at me while thousands of people were laughing, and I was terrified that my body wasn't covered up enough by the spandex or the romper. I basically felt naked, so it felt incredibly sexually violating. I was younger and my body was still developing and I was still becoming comfortable with myself, so for her to use my body as entertainment on stage really set my confidence back quite a lot. And not to mention, after all this, after the show, I had to walk back to my car where there was many men staring at me in a very predatory way that they were not looking at me before because of how exposed I had been on stage. So I literally did not feel safe leaving the venue. And I'm not saying this was sexual assault, although people are debating that in that comment section, but as someone who has been sexually assaulted, this situation gave me that same feeling where it feels like you need to purge and like clean out your insides, you know, just that nasty, gross feeling. There's a couple comments on Xandar's video being like, oh, she signed up for that, why is this such a big deal, blah blah blah. Colleen exploited my minor body for entertainment and money and did not protect my safety at this show. As an outsider looking into this situation, it may seem like this wasn't a big deal, but this was really pretty scary for my teenage self, and especially as someone who loved and looked up to Colleen. And I could never say anything because everybody loved her. But this is who she really is. She uses kids for her own gain. I was a minor, and again, she did not protect me. So if you're watching this and you're thinking about taking your kids to a Miranda show, I would advise you to think twice because you may come back with years of trauma, and I don't wish that on anyone.
Okay, I want to address some of these comments because a lot of them are pointing out what I was wearing. And first of all, I just wanted to share what I was wearing. This is a romper that I probably bought from like American Eagle or something, and everybody is acting like I was dressed like I was going to a Coachella rave. Like, it was really not that inappropriate. The inappropriate part was Colleen manipulating my body. So yes, I said I dressed skimpy, but really this is not that bad of an outfit. And yes, I wanted to get picked for the porn part of the show, which is basically where Colleen picks one fan who's wearing something like this, or even just like shorts and a tank top really, and one fan who's dressed as Miranda, and the Miranda fan is deemed as dressed appropriately, and the person who was wearing the quote-unquote inappropriate outfit is like shamed and laughed at, but as a joke or whatever. Now, when she asked for volunteers, mind you, I don't even think that she said it was going to be the yoga challenge when she asked for volunteers, because there was also a segment before that where it was a try not to laugh challenge where she spit in my face. So I honestly can't remember if I knew that there was going to be the yoga part, but if I did, I had completely forgotten because I was so excited that she had called me up on stage. All of the comments blaming me for what I was wearing and blaming me for, you know, wanting to be on stage are really weird and just victim blaming and not coming across the way that you should want to be coming across. Yes, I was 16, but I was still a minor, and Colleen was in her 30s, and all of the people that were working on her show were also fully grown adults who knew that me wearing this outfit and her doing that bit would be wrong. I just think people blaming me instead of Colleen is crazy, because I know I personally would never do what she did to a child, but I don't know, maybe you're all also secretly creepy predators. But yeah, I just want to clear that up a bit and say that if the victim blaming keeps continuing in my comments, I will turn the comment section off, which is not something that I want to do because there's also a lot of support there, and I greatly, oh my goodness, it is way too late, greatly appreciate everybody who's sending me support and love. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it.
Okay, hi, I'm back, unfortunately. I was kind of hoping to just share that story about Colleen and then log off this account and basically never come back here. But I've been seeing a lot of comments blaming me for what happened, and I just want to address victim blaming comments in general. In my situation, a lot of people are talking about my age. I was 16 at this time, which is still a minor. Your brain isn't even fully developed until 24. But a lot of people are like, well, I mean, you weren't 5. Like, you knew what you signed up for. Or people being like, you wore that outfit on purpose. You wanted to be called on stage. Like, this is your fault type thing. I tried to address that in my last video about like Miranda shows and how clothes play a role and how you get called up on stage and stuff. So I don't want to go over that again. I just want to talk about how horrible these comments are in general and how hurtful they are. A lot of people don't realize the power dynamics that were at play in this situation. But regardless, a lot of the negative comments that I've received are why victims of any traumatic situation don't come forward a lot of times. Especially the ones about clothing are really pissing me off. Like, saying that a woman deserves something that happened to her because of what she was wearing is such an archaic and gross way of thinking, and I can't believe people in 2023 are commenting that on the internet. I just can't help but think about how the reactions in my comment section would be different if she was a man and had done what she had done, because what she did was wrong. I'm sorry. I just had an interview with a pretty big news platform, and I actually wasn't going to be doing any interviews. I told myself that I would post that video and then never speak about it again, but because of the amount of people blaming me for it, I felt like I needed to come out and talk more about it. But I do feel like if this magazine reached out to me in the first place, then yes, what happened is wrong. But again, I don't necessarily want to keep making this all about me. I just want to say, even if you think that this wasn't necessarily a bad situation, you're entitled to your own thoughts, but you are not entitled to telling people what they experienced was a traumatic experience or not. Like, people are allowed to express their trauma. You should never attack people for coming forward with their stories in any situation, and these comments are just so disheartening because I know a lot of these people are applying that way of thinking to maybe situations in their real lives and probably hurting people in the process. So I just want to say, if you are someone who is reading the comments and maybe also is starting to feel a little bad about yourself and your experience, just know that these people are spewing absolute nonsense. Like, if you've experienced a traumatic situation, just know that this is not a normal reaction. Yeah, so basically, let's just all try to be a little kinder to each other and treat each other with more respect, because it goes a long way.
Alright, in closing off this video, I do just want to say that I can't believe how everything has turned out and how the past 2 weeks have gone, where she's going on tour, ignoring everyone, blocking anyone that is asking for a response, removing every single comment. I feel like by the time she makes a response, there's going to be no negative comments because she's blocked everyone. If you have time to block people, go on tour, release merchandise that says cancelled, you know, do bits where you're making fun of apology videos and stuff like that, then you have time to sit down and explain yourself. And I just think that Colleen Ballinger has gotten away with inappropriate behavior online for way too long. Whether it's behind the scenes, publicly, her family using it, accountability needs to be held. Whether it's the platforms or whether it's Colleen herself. And I don't know, like, if Colleen doesn't hold herself accountable, then the platforms have to. I will see you in my next one. Thank you for watching this video.